Hey everybody, so I'm down here underneath my 90 Jeep Grand Wagoneer. Just to be honest, I haven't really gone down here to check anything in quite a bit. Sometimes you just go underneath your car or your Jeep or your truck or whatever, and you just sit here for, who knows, 10, 15, 20 minutes, just, looking at things to see if everything's okay, everything's leaking or not leaking, etc. And I just wanted to show you guys the reason why I use Rustoleum rust reformer. When I was working on the 76J10, if you guys have been following on my videos, and if you haven't, but I'll just tell you that when I clean up rust, like this rust up here, for example, when I clean it up, and this I did not clean up very well when I did this like 8 or 9 years ago, but when I do clean up the rust, I always use Rustoleum rust reformer. And I guess this video is just to show you guys what it looks like after, I think it's been about 8 years now since I put like 2 or 3 coats on here. So if I can on the video, I will put a picture in here showing you guys what this frame looked like when I got it. So I didn't know how to weld, so at the time, my welds, they look like crap. Obviously they've held because, I towed the J10 on this thing, and the hitch is bolted directly to the plates that I welded on, so I guess the welds are okay, even though they look like shit. And these welds, they look like absolute ass. This is literally when I first started to learn how to weld. I just kind of booger shitted this on here. But and I never rebuilt these things like I did on the J10. I probably should have. I did add, like a plate right here, and I think I added like one in the front or something, but it just looks like ass, you know what I mean? But it's held for 50,000 miles. It's held, towing nearly 7,000 pounds. Everything has held, but the whole point of the video is just to show you what the Rustoleum rust reformer has done. So this whole frame right here was orange. It was horribly orange. Like, this thing was just a giant hole I had to fix. The inside of the frame in here, I don't know if you can see, but it was severely pitted, just like the J10. It was so pitted I had to take a hammer and just smack it, and I had chunks falling off of it. These full-size Jeeps tend to get really rusty from the frame, like from the shock mount back. I don't know why, but they all do for some reason. Other sections of the frame that I had to fix were, and again, this is all crappy jobs. This is, again, I didn't know what I was doing. I was just learning how to fix, frame stuff and trying to save money, and everything is held, so I guess it doesn't really matter. But the body mounts right here, I had to kind of rebuild the body mounts. And again, I was also working in a townhouse. I had one parking spot. I had no cover from the elements. It was really hard to do this without a workshop. So anyway, so these body mounts, I redid. I was able to grab the bumper and pull it up and down, basically lifting the body off the frame, bouncing it up and down. I rebuilt all the body mounts on the vehicle. All of them were bad. I'm surprised the body didn't just roll off the frame, to be honest. But again, everything was, it looked like this. It was all orange, rusted, horrible. The reason why this came back is because I didn't clean it. You can see the original paint, that gray stuff is still there, and then the rust reformer is on top of it. So clearly I didn't clean this up very good. I cleaned this section up decently, but I didn't do very well right there. So it's all prep work. And another thing on rust reformer is it tells you not to spray it over top of galvanized steel. I'm pretty sure that this paint is like a galvanized type of paint right here, and that's the reason why it's flaking and falling off. You actually have to clean that off before you spray it. So, but anyway, with the pitted frame, orange, rusted everywhere, I cleaned it up as best I could with a wire wheel and all that stuff, and I put 2 or 3 coats on there, and it's been 8 years, and it has not come back. This whole cross member right here was just all orange. It wasn't pitted, but it was orange, not pitted like, see, like this is not pitted, it's just kind of crusty and orange. 8 years, hasn't come back. This whole thing was all orange as well. Nothing has come back. It is getting a little bit of rust, where the welds are, so I'm probably going to have to just, wash it off a little bit right here, and I'll probably put like a, one coat on there just to coat it again. Just like this, I need to clean this up with an actual wire wheel, and clean it proper. And I think I'm going to also put like, cut or drill a couple of large holes right here, in this section, to get that chunky rust out that's inside there. I know it's inside there, because this is all kind of chunky right here. It's starting to come back. But it's not bad after 8 years, to tell you the truth. So, I did some frame repairs right there with some absolute crap shit welds. Now, when I did do the major frame repair, which is, I don't know if you can see the welds right there. That's after, like maybe 4 or 5 years of welding, so my welds did start getting better. And this was an actual major repair that I had to do. So it was a large section of the frame that had to be cut off. You can see it's a huge section. Mine was absolute dog shit. Somebody put like a 90-degree angle plate in there and attempted to fix that. Sorry, I had the camera turned weird. Attempted to fix it with a 90-degree angle plate, but it was absolute horrible. I mean, you could stick a screwdriver through there, a hammer would just smash right through. It was really, really bad. So I had to do a lot of major frame repairs on this Jeep as well. It's not just the 76 J10. To be honest, this one had worse or more frame repairs than the J10. Like I said, there was one here, this one, this plate, that plate over here I had to do, that giant, like, 1.5 feet long by 5 or 6 inches, tall frame repair. The shocks in the front had horrible, I had to basically rebuild the boxed section up in the front on both sides where the shocks are. The cross member right there, can you see those booger welds? Again, this is, I don't know if you can see that, but that right there was completely sagging. The lip on the C channel was just dropped down. I had to cut that off. I had to cut the cross member and, weld in that stuff. Ugly ass booger welds. But everything has held. So, I guess sometimes your welds can look like shit, and they can actually work. So, the welds on the J10 are much, much better. But I just wanted to show you guys this, that after 8 years, the rust reformer has pretty much 90 or 95% held. Nothing has really come back, except in the sections I didn't prep properly. So, and I guess I just wanted to show you the repairs that I had to do on this thing. So it looks like it's in great shape, but underneath the frame, was rotten. It had a lot of bad metal, so worse than the J10 actually. So, but crappy welds have held, 7,000 pounds when I towed this thing, and I had 1,000 pounds in the back. So, not all welds, even though they look like shit, are bad. I guess that's just my point that I wanted to make. So, and also wanted to show you the rust reformer stuff. So, but I'll let you guys go. Thanks for watching.